When you do come from the NBA or different leagues and you do come to Europe, it's different basketball. It's more physical, it's less space. What I always tell people is that when you do come to Europe, the real basketball is going to show, if you can really play or not.
If the NBA is the best basketball league in the world, then how come some NBA players struggle mightily when they come to play in Europe? Number 1 pick in 2013, number 4 in 2010, number 3 in 2008, and number 7 in 2015. All of them have stepped foot in EuroLeague courts, yet we're far away from shining bright for their respective teams. Why? It's a tricky topic to discuss, so stay with me until the end of this video to hear every argument out. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel if you agree with our key points.
He's got company. It's Johnson. Wesley Johnson.
Obviously, you might think, only those who can't get an NBA contract anymore come to play overseas, no wonder they struggle. However, that's still a borderline NBA level player coming to Europe. It's not like they're 37 or 38 years old either. Most of these recent examples came in still in their peaks with physical abilities that most Europeans can only dream of. That's the number one thing separating the two leagues. Wesley Johnson was a freak athlete, Kenneth Faried an incredible motor and energy, and Emmanuel Mudiay was recognized for his great size and strength for the point guard position. So why we did not see almost anything out of this? We have touched a lot on the biggest differences between NBA and the EuroLeague game in our recent videos, and the main reason lies somewhere behind it. The defensive rules ask the players to be much more all-around and skilled. The NBA, on the other hand, puts a significantly higher value on players that possess 2 or 3 things at the highest level, or as the saying goes, you have to stand out to stand on the court. But this phenomenon has a backside to it. Players do their best things repeatedly, avoiding their weaknesses, and a completely different NBA game allows them to do it easier.
Williams dives and misses. Wes Johnson really playing well. He has 10 points.
In Europe, a mix of smaller courts, shorter three-point lines, defensive rules, and careful game planning by opposing coaches might make life miserable for less skilled NBA players that come here. Even the late great Kobe Bryant, in one of his interviews in 2015, said that Europeans are more skilled because they are taught the game the right way from the early age. He then added that AAU basketball is stupid and that all AAU players do is fancy crap without knowing the fundamentals of the game. That's some harsh words from an all-time great. So how did these weaknesses were uncovered once these high NBA picks came to Europe? Johnson, Faried, and Mudiay were all above average athletes by European standards, but not even close to being superior when talking about their jump shots. Due to the smaller court, spacing is extremely important in the EuroLeague, and not being a threat from outside allowed the opponents to back off from them and risk getting an open three in every possession at the cost of limiting other players.
Panathinaikos put on the board Wesley Johnson for 3, back iron on the shot.
With Mudiay, who was supposed to be the number 1 option in Žalgiris offense, opponents started going under the screens on pick and rolls, limiting his options to score and create for others. The end result was 26% from three-point range and one of the worst offenses in the league. Wesley Johnson, on the other hand, wasn't a primary ball handler often, so his defender was usually packing the paint. You could safely say that the risk paid off, as Wesley shot even worse than Mudiay, only 23% from behind the arc. Not being multidimensional badly affected their performances and had a really high cost for these two, as their EuroLeague careers finished after 5 and 28 games respectively.
Johnson, space dribble to open up the 3, no good.
As well as not being skilled enough, it was the cultural differences in the basketball played that made the adjustment period much harder for these players. Faried has mentioned that in EuroLeague there is more physicality and more running. If you are coming here out of shape, you can get lost imagining you are not getting certain calls. Again, this is where relying on your physical attributes, just like they were used to doing in the NBA, backfires. Now, we have talked about this in our recent videos, but fewer games in the EuroLeague regular season makes every game a do-or-die situation. Not exactly something the NBA regular season games stand for. Every possession here matters, and every potential defensive breakdown can get you a spot on the bench. It is a tough mental switch for the newcomers in Europe. This is why usually first-year rookies here rarely have their minutes average higher than 20, simply because they lack focus on each possession. These high NBA picks have experienced it in the past, and in this season we are seeing the same examples from the likes of of Marcus Howard or Carson Edwards, especially in off-ball situations where they tend to relax a little bit more. Despite their insane offensive explosions,
Whoa, and the fast break finish! My, that was 9-meter bomb!
just like Jimmer Fredette used to do for Panathinaikos back in the day, being a defensive target often prohibited them from having a larger role. Following their performances throughout the season, you can see slow improvements in this area, but patience is not something all European coaches or general managers are exactly known for. Some NBA players got lucky and others not so much. That's also a factor to why some NBA players get cut so fast. The expectations are immense and very few have time to wait until the player adjusts.
Walters spins to the edge of the paint, turnaround shot won't go for him. Mudiay still struggling. He's 0 of 3 from the field now, yet to score.
Looking from an NBA pick perspective, limited minutes because of defensive issues could be a tough pill to swallow, also because the NBA game is much longer, thus meaning more time for everyone. In addition, some of these players have barely seen the bench in their entire lifetimes, being the sensational prospects coming up and then highly protected rookies with almost guaranteed playing time because of the high lottery pick used.
2-on-1, Mudiay dunks. And a foul.
Another obstacle for NBA guards coming in, reading the game offensively. Again, because of the defensive rules, you have to be able to see the movements of help side and even the secondary help side defenders while playing the pick and rolls. In addition to having to make split-second decisions in offense, EuroLeague offers you a wider variety of pick and roll coverages and more impact from players from one pass away. This is the ultimate adjustment for some. Take a look at this example of how the same situation is being read by EuroLeague rookie Emmanuel Mudiay and EuroLeague veteran Giannis Strelnieks. Mudiay struggles to make a short roll pass here against the ice defense, not creating the advantage, while Strelnieks prepares the pick better and then subtly makes room for the pass, easily creating 2 points for his team. Not seeing quick improvements in such areas is usually a deal breaker for many GMs in Europe.
Fenerbahce back on the attack. Antetokounmpo cannot handle the alley-oop pass, or Linde with the steal.
Finally, the cultural adjustment of the court. The predominant belief in many countries is that basketball players cannot relax or party at any time during the year because of the every game matters mentality. Some fans and GMs might imagine that all you should think of is basketball and the team you're playing for, and even such unimportant things such as creating your YouTube blog, Hey Tommy Marino, or doing interviews with the media might affect your play the following day. I completely disagree with this mindset, and I know some of you support the players here, but it actually affects some of the decision makers in European leagues. And this sometimes leads to NBA players failing in Europe very quickly.
Johnson. That hits the heel of the rim.
Do you agree? What other reasons are there for poor performances of NBA players in the EuroLeague? Comment down below, subscribe to our channel as it helps us grow, and I'll see you in the next one.